Alright, what's up YouTube? So today we have a special treatment for you guys, you automatic guys that is. Today we are going to be taking off this transmission pan, which I've already started taking off. We're going to take off this transmission pan and replace one of the transmission solenoids that tend to go out frequently. So I'm going to show you guys pretty much from A to Z and how to take it off and replace it. So the first thing, of course, is jack up the cars. Make sure it's even on all four. You want to make sure it's even on all four, as even as it can be. Once you got it even, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna take off this drain bolt right there, and you're gonna set it on there. It's dummy proof. It says drain. In case you guys are wondering the socket size, it's a size 8. It's gonna be a hex. So once you have it drained, you're gonna go ahead and then you're gonna start hitting these 10 millimeters around the transmission pan. They're all around the transmission pan, okay? This transmission pan tends to actually come out pretty easy, at least in my case. There are some times where you're gonna have to get like a little flathead and then pry it down. Just make sure you don't put too much force, because then you'll crack it. So we're gonna go ahead and take off the rest of the 10 millimeter bolts real quick, and then I'll show you guys what to do next. All right guys, once we have the transmission pan off, we're gonna be removing 10 bolts that hold on this frame or this control unit onto the transmission pan, okay? So we got 1, 2, and then over here we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you get those 10 bolts off, this whole pan's gonna fall down, and then you're gonna be able to go on to the next step. All right guys, so before you take out the final bolt, make sure you come over here. It's gonna be on the passenger side of this transmission pan, and you're gonna see this right here. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna disconnect that sensor. Reason being is because that sensor is actually connected to the TCU module that's inside the transmission pan. So you need to disconnect from this pigtail right here, which is the TCU pigtail. And once you get it disconnected from there, then you can drop the last bolt and then drop this. Alright guys, and just like that, our transmission solenoid pan and TCU is removed. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are your solenoids right there. I'm also going to post up a picture of a diagram as well to show you which one is each solenoid. So what we're going to do now is pretty much take off the TCU from the tray, and the TCU is pretty much this big black part up here. So we're going to take off the bolts that hold it down, and we'll be able to finally take out the solenoid that we replaced, which is this guy, and put in a new one. This one, this one, this one, this one. So that's 4, and you got 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So those are the 8 bolts you're gonna need to remove to take this off. And so we have that tray off right now. So what you want to do is to get that off, it was a little tricky. So you have to actually just pull up from this side, and then once you pull up from this side, you make it straight, and then this side will lift right out. Basically, it's like a clip-in. But yeah, so now that's removed. So now we have our solenoids exposed, so let's go ahead and show you guys how to take these out. We're gonna have to take off these two 10 mils right here, and this has a support bracket. So we're gonna take this 10 mil, that 10 mil off real quick. Once you have that support bracket off, you can see right here, you get it exposes these little pins. How you're gonna do this is all these, the way how they come out is you use a magnet. So that magnet releases it, and then you pull the solenoid out. So in our case, we got the code P2709, which is the 8LR solenoid. So it's going to be this guy right here. If you guys have a different code, I'll post it up right now and then show you guys what it relates to and whatnot. So this is how you do it pretty much. You get a magnet, get the pin, slides right off. Once you have that pin out, you're able to pull this guy right out just like that. Alright, and you get your new solenoid. Get your new solenoid and you replace it. So we're going to do that right now. Alright, and just like that, we have successfully replaced our solenoid. So from here, we're pretty much going to reverse install and turn on the car and make sure everything works, check for leaks and whatnot. Make sure you line up this lever right here with the spot over here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this lever right here has to get lined up with this guy right here. So make sure you line it up. Before you install that solenoid module for the transmission, or TC, whatever the fuck you want to call it, make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is this guy right here, make sure these rubber gaskets are in place, okay? It's very important that they're in place. If they're not in place, look for it. It's very important. I actually found out that this one was actually missing. So what happens is these are stuck onto that plate, or that solenoid plate, and sometimes they get dragged off with it. Pretty much tend to pull the gasket out with it, and that'll be a big problem. So make sure those gaskets, or those O-ring gaskets, are in place, okay? Alright guys, so once you have all the bolts in the correct spot again, you're gonna go ahead and torque them down to 7 to 9 foot-pound. After we do that, then we can pretty much throw back on the transmission oil pan and then pretty much fill it up with new fluid. Alright guys, so before we had issues with going into reverse, the car would jerk whenever you would go into reverse. As you can see, it doesn't do that anymore, so that's a good sign. The second thing is the car will not go above 5th gear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a pull on the streets real quick and see if we can get past 5th gear. If we can get it past 5th gear, then that means replacing that solenoid work. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick pull. Guys, and as you can see based off that video, replacing that solenoid did help out or fix our issue, so we were able to get into 6th gear finally on that transmission without it cutting power and staying stuck in 5th gear. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, leave a like down below, drop a comment if you have any questions, and hit me up on Instagram if you need any more help with anything else. I'll go ahead and see you guys back here in the next DIY video. Peace out.